Hello and welcome to the final episode of the weekly political show. And tonight's discussion is about elections and the recent election of 2016. And we have our guest Keanu as usual. So say hi to the camera. The election today we'll explore is the 2016 election and its candidates Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. And they were towards the end because we had Bernie Sanders, all the those other guys, but the main people we're focusing on are Trump and Clinton. So to give us context, Keanu, why don't you explain how does the election process work?
Well, thank you, Marco. And first, we start off with the spring. In the spring, candidates announce their intentions and that they will run for president. Then the candidates campaign in order to win caucuses and primary elections to take place in the states. At the National Party convention, the president nominees are announced. On Tuesday, after the first Monday in November every 4 years, citizens cast their votes. Then the electoral college casts their votes. Whichever candidate wins the most electoral votes, that person becomes the president. And finally, on January 20th, the following year, the president is the in aggregated into office.
Wow, it seems like a very long process, but it's interesting because sometimes maybe one candidate could win the states, but maybe at the electoral, maybe the other candidate wins. So you could get interesting outcomes. And anyways, thanks for talking about the process. Now let's talk about the 2016 election and some key points from the first debate. The first debate took place on September 26, 2016. So why don't you share about the debate?
Yeah, for sure. Some facts about the presidential debate on 2016 on the first election involves the following action and commentary, like Trump getting agitated out of the gate, accusing for racist behavior, talking about releasing tax returns, discussing about president imagery, and mainly just about Iraq, the general stuff.
All right. Thank you. Now that we have a little bit more information and context about the debate, let's talk about the candidates in 2016, their political party, and their personal stance on the issue of immigration. I just chose that issue, but of course there are many other issues, but let's just focus on immigration today. So Keanu, let's talk about what Trump's party is and what his stance on immigration was.
Well, as we all know, Donald Trump is a Republican. His stance on immigration is that immigrants are not important part of society and therefore should not be allowed in our country.
Jeez, that's very extreme and very untrue because, after all, immigrants do play an important part. I mean, I'm only speaking on my behalf because I'm an immigrant, but yes, I personally do not agree. And yeah. So, Hillary, on the other hand, is a Democrat, and as you can probably guess, she is a supporter of immigration. And according to PBS.org on Hillary's stances, she believes in validating DACA, which gives undocumented children some more legal rights, and gives illegal immigrants the path to becoming legal citizens. Because while not clearly stated, it's implied that she strongly believes that immigrants play a role, and therefore we should treat them like a normal human American. Just like how we treat our friends. So that's about the Keanu. I have a question for you, and I would like you to please answer.
Sure.
How do elections influence an individual's political beliefs?
Well, obviously, if we're talking about politics, it's always on the viewpoint of whether changing something and effects in our country and the citizen, and if they're able to agree with the concerns with them.
Oh, okay. Personally, I think that I don't know how they influence an individual political belief, but people's political beliefs are formed kind of based on where they fall, how they agree with the individual candidate, i.e. Maybe if they agree with Republican beliefs, maybe they'll say, yeah, I vote for Republican, I vote for Trump. Or maybe they agree with Democratic beliefs, and then maybe they'll say, yeah, I'm a Democrat. So, it all depends on, how each candidate sees the issue and whether the people, which side they lean towards. And, sometimes they're in the middle, and sometimes maybe they may be more on one side, and sometimes they may be on the other. You never know. Everyone's different. And one more question. What have recent elections shown about the political beliefs of the American public?
Um, well, the recent elections shows a lot of controversy, like a few controversy about certain situations that's not happening in our country but around the country, around the world, and they're kind of prioritizing more our country than other other places.
It's a good perspective to take note of. Personally, I think that how political beliefs, what does it show about the political beliefs of the American public? I feel like, honestly, with the 2016 election, I feel like it showed, our country might be made up of a lot of Republicans, since a lot of Republicans did indeed vote for Donald Trump. Now, why, you may ask? Well, I'm not sure, and I feel like the reason why they may have voted for Republican is, last time we had the election before Trump was when we had Obama, and Obama was a Democrat. So, maybe even if people really were Democrats, maybe they wanted to see a change, and that's why they voted Republican. But I personally think that, you know, even if you want to change, sometimes you always have to look at the big picture. What is this candidate offering? Is it really truly to what your heart and political belief says? So that's just my take. I mean, do you have any other things you want to say?
No, that's all.
All right.
Thank
Well,
you.
thank you for watching on our final episode. I hope you enjoyed these series, and yeah, have a great day.